Now, what are you saying, that the Mormons are not Christians, truly?
Yeah, Mormons aren't
Because
Christians.
I was telling you what Tim Wilson used to say about it. He would say, I haven't even finished the Bible, much less the Book of Mormon. I haven't finished. I need to read the Bible before I read Jesus the Western. And you say that's kind of what it was like.
Yeah. I mean, you had Joseph Smith, and he was friends with this guy in publishing. He said, "Hey, look, the angel Moroni told me that there's these tablets buried somewhere, and I could dig them up."
Moroni, the angel Moroni.
Moroni, I
Never heard of it.
believe that's the name of the angel.
Moroni.
And I could translate it with these seer stones.
Seeger stones?
Seer stones.
Oh.
And so you translate these tablets, and it's
Seeger
the Book of
stones.
Mormon. There's the Book of Mormon in the mid-1800s.
From Miana? Was that the name?
Moroni.
Moroni?
Yeah, the angel Moroni.
Was it a black girl angel? Sounds like that. Okay, well, I was just saying, we were talking about Romney, and we were, and the way that conversation came about was that they must be really worried if they're pushing Justice Breyer out. He had no idea he was retiring until he did.
I'm retiring?
Oh,
News to me.
well, how nice. Well, I see. I guess I can see the sense of that. He's actually a guy who you know what I mean? He doesn't sound like a particularly bright guy, and especially when you hear them talking in the Supreme Court, as we have gotten the opportunity to do a couple of times lately. He's a fucking dummy.
Yeah, he's a dope.
There's something about this liberal way of thinking. It doesn't matter how accomplished, educated you are, how much you know about everything. It just doesn't matter. You're a dummy. You don't really get stuff. There's a kind of information that's just lost on you.
They're overly educated but not intelligent.
I don't understand it. I really don't see how a person can have both of those qualities. There's some very smart people who are unable to sort of like think their way through it.
Right, yeah, the logic. They missed the logic somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, and so Breyer's one of those guys. Fuck it. And there's instead of and so Mitt Romney, right? When he was running for president, you say you didn't vote for him. You voted for a third party.
I wrote in Ron Paul, I think.
Okay. And I wasn't voting at the time. I voted once when I turned 18 just for the hell of it. I think I voted for a fucking, I forget what they're called, black nationalist of some sort, I was just, hey, I'm 18,
The
right?
Black Panthers.
It happened to be an election year when I turned 18, so I did it. And I think that was Bush, the first. It was H.W. Bush against that fucking Greek guy.
Dukakis.
Yeah.
Dukakis.
Dukakis. It sounds like it sounds gay, doesn't it?
Super
Would you
gay.
guys like to be cocked? Dukakis.
Ooh,
In the butt.
please do.
Ducock. He's riding around with the fucking helmet on, after he let that
Yeah,
killer out,
that-
I'm a
that
militant
picture.
person who's actually pro-military. I don't know what the fuck he was trying to do, but anyway, H.W. Bush was going to win because he's the CIA, and he had to go in there and clean up all that drug money.
Yep, gotta get rid of it, make it disappear.
Yeah, that's Iran-Contra shit. This was way too, and they chose H.W. Bush for him to be his vice president.
Oh yeah,
It wasn't his first choice. That's not what Reagan wanted.
they wanted someone to control Reagan and keep tabs on him.
Yeah, absolutely. And they had somebody nearby to do it. It's funny how, some information you get later kind of helps understand what happened in your own lifetime, and that's the deal. Like John Brennan, CIA guy, a communist,
Yeah.
an avowed communist. Why would they hire him? Oh, because they want communists.
Yeah, because they want more communism.
Yeah, it's like, well, no, he's just such a singularly great CIA guy, potentially, that we're going to take a chance on this commie.
Why would the Democrats run somebody whose mentor was a communist and who got his start in Saul Alinsky's living room? Mm-hmm. Oh, because he's a communist. His name's Barack Obama, and we love that.
Right. And, why would we try to elect a woman who... period. That's good enough, right?
Nah.
Try to elect a woman. But, a woman who wrote her thesis, I think, on Saul Alinsky.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's, let's face it, They're good with it. That's what they want.
It's they don't care too. It's like, so this person's an out and out communist, and we're going to put him up for the Supreme Court, or we're going to run him as president of the United States of America. So who gives a shit? And
Can he pronounce the word democracy convincingly?
Yeah. Democracy. Clean. What did Biden say about Obama? He was a clean.
Oh, he's clean. He can talk the language. He's well spoken.
Clean,
articulate. Oh, that's a wet dream. That's a dream about my little niece or my daughter.
Got a corn pop gets involved.
Biden. God, man, disgusting. And now we know
I think
who the real president is because we saw everybody crowding around Obama. Did it feel like the curtain got pulled back a little bit?
Yeah, I think we got a peek behind the curtain.
And Joe just like, this isn't behind closed doors. How come you're ignoring me here? You can't do this.
Don't all gather and fawn over Barack Obama. I'm president now, damn it.
Barack Obama just takes out his dick and he's like, go ahead, suck. Yes, good. Sorry, Joe. I'm the guy. He's got the power.
Mm-hmm.
A guy like Barack Obama has power in office, out of office, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are like that, However, it's kind of funny the story came out, how little of a deal was made out of it when Hillary Clinton, her campaign, and the DNC were both fined for their for lying about their the Russian dossier, what it exactly was for, misclassifying it. They said it was instead of saying it was opposition research, it was legal fees. And that's what they did wrong.
Yeah.
Forget that it was like obviously, discredited, and they sold it to the FISA court.
Mm-hmm.
All that shit. That was just those were errors.
And I think
17
the FISA
errors.
court, I think like 98% or 99% of applications get approved. So you're gonna win.
Yeah, because a good percentage of those in the recent years came from Obama. He did a lot of illegal FISA searches, and they would catch him at it, and he'd be like, he was like, oh, sorry, I don't do it anymore. Did it again for a while, and then he went on like a Labor Day weekend, and that's when the story came out.
Of course,
he went before a the 3-judge panel. What do they call that? There's a word for it, a tribunal or something, some sort of tribunal. And, he faced the music, and they're just like, oh, hey, Barack, what's up? Yeah, just what do you want us to do?
Can I get your autograph first off?
Oh, my God, big fan.
Big fan.
Yeah. A fox attacked somebody this past week, too.
A fox?
A fox attacked a Democrat, which is perfect,
Good fox.
Yeah. Hell, I mean, this is a literal fox, not a network. A Democratic member of Congress attacked by a fox on Capitol Hill. Multiple sightings in the area were reported. I didn't see it, and all of a sudden I felt something lunge at the back of my leg. It was Amy Barra. She's a Democratic rep. I jumped back and got my umbrella. She's from California. Not big fox country, I guess.
No foxes.
I don't know. Like, it is perfectly foxy country, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure the women are great, but I mean, there's also foxes everywhere in the United States. Is there a state that doesn't have foxes?
Amy Barra is foxy?
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. I'm just going to say yes because she spells her name with an I. And I don't think she is. I mean, I'm going to say that I think she is, but I mean, let's face it.
Let's find out.
Oh, it's Ami Barra.
No, it's a guy.
It's a fella. Oh, am I an idiot? Ami Barra.
Ami.
It says for Amarish Babula Ami Barra.
Okay.
His name is long
That's really
and complicated. Wow.
Ami Barra.
So Ami Barra, his name's Amarish Babulal Ami Barra. Ami's in quotes. That's what they call him. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we were wrong about Amy.
Yeah, she's not high at all.
So this is a dude, Ami Barra, got attacked by a fox. Oh, no, fox. He's Barra said the fox bit his legs and told Punch Bowl News. I think Punch Bowl News.
Okay.
That's who you go to with an interview of this sort.
Yeah,
I'm reading it at a Daily Wire, and they're quoting Punch Bowl News that he managed to scare the animal with his umbrella, and then it ran away after Capitol Police showed up. Yeah, they always do. The cops. Jeez, at the cops. The fox runs away.
Yeah, fox takes off.
It's the most bizarre day in Congress. We've received several reports of aggressive fox encounters on or near the grounds of the U.S. Capitol. What are they setting us up for?
Yeah.
What is this?
Something's going to happen.
Is a fox going to give somebody a rare coronavirus or something? Is it carrying
I think
something?
this is the beginning of the zombie apocalypse.
It's a rabies thing. The U.S. Capitol Police Department said that, yeah, they've had some aggressive foxes. For your safety, please do not approach any foxes. No problem.
Won't do it.
I see a fox. My first impulse isn't, oh, well, look at a fox.
He's
Come here,
so
fox.
cute.
I don't think any wild animals are approachable. Not even squirrels. I don't even want to fuck with a squirrel.
I like seeing them, but I like to, I'm going my way, you're going your way, nod our heads at each other.
Yeah.
That's it. Respect.
To me, a raccoon, it might as well be a grizzly. No interest in, you know what I mean? It's just any wild animal that you see that's close enough to touch you is frightening. You know why? Because they do carry disease.
Yeah.
All
Like that
kinds
big
of
rat we saw, last week?
That was one of the biggest rats
That
I've
was
ever seen.
humongous.
Yeah, that was one of the biggest rats I've seen in New York. I can't
my
remember a
God.
bigger one that I've ever seen. It was living off the fat of the land right there next to the outdoor structure that they've built for COVID dining.
Monstrosities.
Those things take up so many parking spaces. They ruin everything, and they're just huge havens and breeding grounds for rats. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like I say breeding grounds. I'm sure there's rat fucking going on there, but it's just there's so much food. Garbage sitting there. And when there's not garbage, there's crumbs. There's everything that people drop throughout the course of their, however, the life of this fucking thing.
Right.
Because, it's like just a wooden floor that's nailed together, some boards and shit. It
Hastily.
was not made to last. It was made so, like, shit, we need some money. We got to set up a business.
Right.
Well, we got to get rid of these things in New York. For your safety, please do not approach any foxes. Animal control workers are working, the officers are, to trap and relocate any foxes they find. I think that's enough about the fox. I don't give a fuck about the fox, really.
Did they get the fox for comment?
If only. President Joe Biden's requirement. Now, this is weird. It's an appellate court ruling that I was not expecting because I didn't even know that. I thought this was over.
Right, seal deal.
But his requirement that federal employees be vaccinated. This is federal employees.
Oh, okay.
So I guess that's maybe the difference, but
Right.
It was upheld in court by a federal appeals court. So if it was upheld, that's not a reversal, right?
Right.
So I guess they're just that maybe it will not go to the Supreme Court. Could they appeal it to the Supreme Court if they've already lost twice?
Sure. I mean, I guess they could. It's up to the Supreme Court if they want to take on the case, obviously,
A 2-1 ruling, a panel of the 5th District Court of Appeals reversed it did reverse a lower court
Oh, okay.
and ordered a dismissal of a lawsuit challenging the mandate. Wow. Dismissal of a lawsuit.
Wow, just outright threw it out.
The ruling, a rare win for the administration at the New Orleans Appellate Court, said that the federal judge didn't have jurisdiction in the case. Oh. That's
One
the
of those
basis.
things.
Didn't have jurisdiction in the case.
See that so often.
And those challenging, like during the election, we don't have jurisdiction over I can't hear this case. That's insane. Show me anything. I can't see anything. What are you talking about? We're not going to do this. It's the same thing here, I guess. The federal judge didn't have jurisdiction in the case, and those challenging the requirement could have pursued administrative remedies under civil service law. So, like, you could have, under civil service law, you could have filed some sort of, in-house appeal? Or
Right.
you could have, how do you, under civil service law, they have some kind of system. And if you haven't exhausted that yet, you have to go exhaust
So
that.
he's saying tell him to go to HR? Go to your HR?
Yeah. Am I right in that?
I think so.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Go to your HR department.
Go work it out with Beth. And Beth's not going along with this
Beth
shit.
is definitely 90% of bureaucrats are Democrats.
Yeah. They appointed a lot of those. Yeah, it says challenging could have pursued administrative remedies, it says, under civil service law. So Biden issued an executive order September 9th ordering vaccinations for all executive branch agency employees with exceptions for medical and religious reasons. Very few of those.
Yeah.
U.S. District Judge Jeffrey Brown, who was appointed to the district court for the Southern District of Texas by then President Donald Trump, issued a nationwide injunction against the requirement in January. That's what I don't get. You know, I'm glad that they're doing it on the side of good,
Okay.
but I never understood the judges being able to just like some judge in some town someplace as a district judge in wherever, and it's like, yeah, nationwide, you know, like when they rejected the Ninth, I don't know,
Ninth
whatever.
Circuit.
The fucking liberal-ass Ninth Circuit. But it seemed like just any judge could just make some nationwide fucking rule, and you're just like, one dude?
One guy.
One cunt? Okay, so you know that there's a bunch of people that don't have to get it. The post office, they're not required to get it.
Wow. Well, they probably have a strong union.
It's not about that.
No.
No. It's about that they don't want anybody to have to get it if they don't want to, if they're certain types. Like Congress is not required to get it.
Oh.
Congress isn't required. Why not? Why wouldn't they be?
If you're a federal
What are
employee.
you talking about?
Oh.
I mean, what about, the CDC themselves are not required to be vaccinated to go work at the CDC. The people making the vaccines, they're like, we don't have that in place because we're working to get all these vaccines made. We can't take a couple of days off. That's what they said.
We don't have the time.
We don't have time to be, recovering from getting vaccinated. What? But we do?
And we're supposed to buy this bullshit.
So you got to make more vaccine so that it's just, but we're just not taking it.
Yeah, I didn't take it.
We don't
You
have
didn't take
time.
it.
We
No.
don't have time to take it. You guys have. You take it. You got all the time in the world. Unbelievable. When the case was argued at the Fifth Circuit last month, administrative lawyers had noted that the district judges in a dozen jurisdictions had rejected a challenge to the vaccine requirement for federal workers before Brown ruled. So district judges in a dozen jurisdictions had rejected a challenge to the vaccine requirement before he ruled on it. And that was the administration lawyers had noted that. Like, a lot of these judges, they just say, fuck this.
Don't want to see
This
it.
guy took it on, but, clearly a lot of judges don't think he should, right? They weren't willing to do it.
Well, it was 2-1, so one of the judges dissented.
It's not that weird.
I mean, yeah, it can't be that crazy. If it was so, easily dismissed, it should have been 3-0. Out of the jurisdiction, 3-0. Next.
If it's out of the jurisdiction, it's out of the jurisdiction. That's a
Why
legal
is it 2-1?
question. That's a good question. Does he disagree, or does he rightfully disagree that even matters?
Right.
Because if he does, what do you mean he doesn't have jurisdiction? Did these other ones, they rejected it because they didn't have the jurisdiction? Why shouldn't they have a jurisdiction? Whatever, I don't know. I'm starting to lose the meaning of the word jurisdiction the more I say it. The administration argued that the Constitution gives the president, as the head of the federal workforce, the same authority as the CEO of a private corporation to require that employees be vaccinated. That's what they figure?
Okay.
That's what you argue? He's the CEO of all the federal employees?
Millions of people.
As the president, as the executive? What do you think of that? Does that make sense constitutionally?
I don't remember that being in the Constitution. Maybe it's somewhere in the back.
The president is the CEO.
It says it right here. The
Wow.
CEO isn't even you don't need a CEO in a business. I think you just need a president and a treasurer and a secretary. You don't need it. See, it's like one of those terms they just made up for
What
business.
they're saying, the same authority, just the same authority as a CEO.
Yeah.
So he would be the CEO in that role, have the power of it. But I don't really know exactly.
Doesn't sound right.
Legally is weird. I don't know. Lawyers for those challenging the mandate had pointed to a recent Supreme Court opinion that the government cannot force private employers to require employee vaccinations. So, okay, why should this particular CEO have power that these other CEOs don't have? So I guess that's where it's different. Well, our president is the king.
he rules by decree.
He has kingly powers.
Yeah.
It says, just to read it again, lawyers for those challenging the mandate had pointed to a recent Supreme Court opinion that the government cannot force private employers to require employee vaccinations. 12 of 17 active judges at the Fifth Circuit were nominated to the court by Republicans. Why was it only 3-1
Well, they see them and they take turns.
Oh.
I'm assuming. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they take turns.
Oh, okay.
They take, and then yeah.
So this 3-judge panel was not necessary. It's not like Republicans made a decision.
Right.
They made it sound that way, didn't they?
They definitely did.
Yeah. I didn't realize that.
NPR.
12 of the 17 were nominated to the court by Republicans, including 6 Trump appointees. Wow, if only they would have been the ones.
They would have been the 3.
I have a feeling. Judges Carl Stewart and James Dennis, both nominated to the court by President Bill Clinton, were in the majority.
Wow.
See? What bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's go back and read up here, up top. And now I know it's not technically a lie. The ruling, a rare win for the administration at the New Orleans-based appellate court, said that the federal judge didn't have jurisdiction. Okay. And it's where it explains this. It must have been up higher. Where the fuck was that? 3-1 ruling, a panel of reverse lower court. The ruling was a rare win for the administration at the New Orleans-based appellate court. Said, but there was some place where it said, where did we read that?
That was a mostly Republican.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't say it there.
Biden issued an executive order September 9th.
The administration argued that lawyers still shot it. Well, I don't know. I could have sworn that we read something like that. About it being a rare win because they were Republicans.
Because they were Republican.
Yeah, and they made it. I could have sworn. What is this, Mandela effect?
It was there 5 seconds ago.
For real. That's so strange. I'm going to search.
Do it.
Man. I guess we're both insane,
12
dude.
of 17 active judges in the 15th.
It only
Fifth
says
Circuit
Republicans wins.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. The case marked ideological divides at the appeals court even before Thursday's ruling. Yes. It says Judge Ray Barksdale, that's a senior judge nominated by H.W. Bush, dissented, saying that the relief the challengers sought does not fall under the Civil Services Reform Act cited by the administration. Obviously, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I could have told you that.
Call up, email Beth and HR, right?
And say, we don't need you. Okay, so a different panel had refused in February to block Brown's ruling pending the appeal. That panel's vote was 2-1, and there were no reasons given by the majority. Judge Jerry Smith, a Ronald Reagan nominee, and Don Willett, a Trump nominee. But, all those judges he appointed, man. He appointed a lot of fucking judges.
He planted a lot of landmines in the judicial system.
At least
for the left.
That. You know what I mean? That was pretty important. There was a lengthy dissent by Judge Stephen Higginson. A lengthy dissent. They didn't give any reasons for doing it, but a lengthy dissent, a nominee of Obama, who said a single district judge lacking public health expertise. Give me a break. It's legal questions. These are questions of the law.
Another biologist.
Public health expertise is not relevant, is it? No, I don't think so. If you're deciding law, why do you need public health expertise? And made unaccountable through life tenure. So as if you should be afraid of being reelected and not being reelected. So
it doesn't matter.
So since you don't have to run for judge with your life tenure, should not be able to block the president from ordering the type of COVID-19 safety measures many private sector CEOs have ordered, but they're not allowed to. Mm-mm. They're not allowed to, see.
Can't do it.
So they might have ordered them, but they're not allowed to. They did it illegally, I guess, because it says here that that's not allowed.
I was just kind of going on LinkedIn, seeing kind of what kind of jobs are out there right now. And there's a lot of really good remote, from home work jobs. One of the companies I looked at was American Express. Pay was good. I was like, maybe, part-time, what the hell, right? Yeah. You have to be vaccinated.
To work at home?
To work at home for American Express.
How does that make any sense?
I don't know. Unless maybe that was you had to be vaccinated for the hybrid.
Can you reach my fucking Red
What?
Bulls? I'm sorry to do
Yeah,
this
man.
to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to embarrass both of us if I try to walk by there. Yes, because we keep it mighty loose here. I think your headphones might have reached. I'm so sorry. Maybe I should start sitting on that side. What a dick. Thank you.
What an asshole.
I always feel bad about asking for anything like that. But thank you so much. So I don't understand that. At American Express, you said maybe that's for the hybrid one.
Yeah, maybe it was for the hybrid one.
But it wouldn't surprise me if it was not. If it was for the always stay at home and like, no, you have to be vaccinated. Why? You just do. What about for the Christmas party?
And you could be like, well, I have a religious exemption. Good luck getting hired at that point when you say that. Mm-hmm. You're not getting the job. They can't say that's not why you're getting the job. But
no. They can just say, we don't like the cut of your jib.
Yeah.
I don't know. The religious exemption should be automatic. Automatic.
Yeah.
I have freedom of religion, mean I'm free to choose it now, because they don't really do that. The cops, NYPD, I happen to know, you'll second it, that when they ask for a religious exemption at NYPD, they do this checking like, have you always been this way? Were you vaccinated as a baby?
Wow.
Because if you were, that shows that you're not really anti-vaccine.
That's not true.
Fuck you.
Yeah, and
I
that's
can
not
say
true
it now.
Anyway.
I make up my own religion.
I believe it's the mark of the beast. There you go. How's that?
What, the vaccine?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just made up my own religious exemption.
Yeah, you're the devil.
Yeah.
How about that?
You're satanic and evil, and I don't like you, and I
Yeah.
want nothing to do with your system.
Yeah, I just want to make enough money to survive, and you're trying to make that fucking impossible. Have you read your Bible? For real. I mean, it is fucked up. The mark of the beast. The vaccine is the mark of the beast, do you think? Or do you think it's the social credit score?
I think it's
all this shit combined.
Foretelling what's eventually going to happen, and they're all going to combine it within a decade.
And you'll have a mark if you've gotten the vaccine.
Well, you got the card right now. You got the Excelsior pass.
But it'll be right up here on your forehead.
Maybe.
Or on your right hand. That's where it goes.
Right.
Sign of the beast.
Right
mark
here.
of the beast.
Go right here.
Yeah. We can just like listen to fucking nothing but Iron Maiden.
Metallica.
666.
The number of the beast.
Oh, you know what? Here's where it was. It was in the opening paragraph, right?
Okay. All right.
It says the ruling marks a rare win for the Biden administration at the New Orleans-based appellate court, where most of the active judges were nominated by Republican presidents.
Those motherfuckers.
See how it just makes it sound as if even the Republicans are... This is NPR, by the way, we're reading from. And NPR, wow, what a great source for news. How about... I don't think people can see me right now, but here's the article. Efforts to restrict rights for LGBTQ youth. But it's not here.
There's nothing there. It's just a title.
It's just a title.
We're going to put a
I guess
story
you
here.
You have to subscribe to the Daily News email for this? What is this? Is this going to tell us anything?
WNYC is supported by UJA Federation of New York, working around the clock to provide food, medicine, and humanitarian aid for Ukraine and its Jewish community. More information at uja.nyc.
Bet we hear some
Aspiration.com/credit. Aspiration Financial LLC. And Progressive Insurance, offering rate comparisons on car insurance from multiple insurers. Rates and comparisons at progressive.com.
Well, that's a sexy commercial, isn't
Service
it?
not available in all
Progressive.
states or situations.
Progressive Insurance.
Okay. Here comes some programming.
WNYC is built by listeners.
Wow.
Grassroots
It keeps
donations
going.
from our community support reporting from the
We're trying to tell you.
WNYC
Give
newsroom,
us
NPR,
money.
and the BBC.
We need money.
Yeah, we have to
Informed
beg.
and connected to events in our
Because the
community and
government
world
subsidizes
is our
us what?
commitment to you.
Wait a second.
Please
Aren't we
tell
already
us
giving you
your
money?
Financial contribution today.
Give us more
Call that
money.
number. Just text the
Private
letters
money.
WNYC to 7010.
Get a mug.
You could
or
text
visit
the money
WNYC.org
in so many ways.
and
You
click
can
I
get
could
the
always
money.
sense that there was a way of determining whether or not you were a person who does that when I was a kid.
Hello, welcome to Newsday from the BBC with
Newsday
Alex Richardson
from
and
the
Bola
BBC.
Mosubo. The war in Ukraine shows no sign of abating, so allies
The
of
Ukraine.
President Zelensky are
The
promising
war
more
in the
aid,
Ukraine.
but unnecessary supplies getting to the right place.
We hear about the first comedy festival being organised in South Sudan.
Oh, Sudan.
The pain
The Sudanese
of
comedy
miscarriage,
festival.
Many women face PTSD afterwards.
That's going to be good.
The Sudanese Comedy Festival.
WNYC
We
is
got to listen to the
supported
whole
by
shit all over
UJA
again because I paused it for a second. Are you
Working
fucking
around the
kidding
clock to
me?
provide food, medicine,
Sorry.
and humanitarian aid for
I
I
did
want to
not
hear more about the
expect that.
Sudanese Comedy
I
Festival.
can't wait. It says live. It's not live.
You think it's all starvation jokes?
In Ukraine, Mr. Biden vowed to increase the pressure on Russia's economy
Listen to that
and
voice.
isolate Russia on the international stage.
Whoa.
What kind of voice
A
is that?
BBC team in Ukraine has found that
James
Russian
Earl Jones
forces
wannabe.
held more than 100 captives in a cellar for weeks
Cellar?
near the city of Chernihiv. 12 people died. The chairperson of Russia's main aluminium production company has made an unusual public statement about the conflict in Ukraine. Bernard Zonneveld, who is a citizen of the Netherlands, issued a statement appealing for an impartial investigation into the deaths of civilians in the town of Bucha. Officials at the U.S.-Mexico border say the number of Ukrainians arriving there to seek asylum in the United States since Russia's invasion has more than doubled in less than a week.
Doubled. There
Over
was 20 of them.
Yeah, now it's
2,800
40.
Ukrainians are now waiting in the border city of Tijuana. A gunman who killed 2 people in a shooting spree in the Israeli city of Tel Aviv has been shot dead by
2
police.
is not a shooting spree.
The
No.
attack took place in an area full of restaurants
In New York City,
and
that's
bars.
called target practice.
Morocco and Spain say they have turned a new page in relations. Madrid pledged support for Morocco's autonomy plan for the disputed Western Sahara. An explosion
God
at a military
damn, this
camp
is some
in the
shit that
east of
doesn't
the
matter.
Democratic
Yeah.
Republic of Congo has left at least 8 people dead and 3
Oh,
others
the
wounded.
Congolese
The blast hit a
Comedy
bar at a
Festival is
facility in
also
Goma.
strong.
Tiger Woods has made a solid start at the Masters Golf Tournament at
Has
Augusta.
he?
14 months after being seriously injured in a car accident.
Oh.
He finished the
Think-
first round
let's
a
tie
shot
it back
under
to that
par.
bullshit that
Woods
happened
broke his
before.
leg so
14
badly
months.
in a car
A
crash
mere
that doctors
14
considered
months.
amputation.
It's over a year.
BBC News.
It's a long time.
Thanks very
Wow.
much, Neil Nunes,
Well, I
for
learned
that
so much
bulletin.
about
Welcome
this.
to
I
Newsday on the
still love the
BBC World
Sudanese
Service
Comedy
with
Festival.
Alex
I'm
and
waiting.
Bola. We'll be hearing about the
You think they'll?
I'm going to have to find
report
out.
on it?
Well, they mentioned it. Oh, yeah, they
Next-
teased it.
next
They're going to
week-
talk about
next
it.
week we're gonna
They didn't
talk
say
about-
next week.
Talk about the Sudanese
They
Comedy
didn't say
Festival.
next week.
Oh, it could be a month. You're right.
Elsewhere, South Sudanese are going to be treated this weekend with the opening of the first ever comedy festival in the country, which will attract acts from the region too. And we have a special report. Are women around the world getting proper help and support to deal with the harrowing experience of miscarriages? And do remember, if you have a comment to share,
God.
the number is
Wow. People listen to this?
77
My mother had 4 miscarriages.
Oh, wow.
And 4 kids. She miscarried every time that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just as many times as she gave birth. I was fucking born with some kind of double hernia, which could have killed me. I hate the thought of it. But they want to pamper these fucking women dealing with the pain of a miscarriage. If they go get an abortion, that's one thing.
That's where this is headed. Get the abortion. You want to have the miscarriage.
You don't want to have a miscarriage. You want to have the power. You know, that way you don't feel that it's not something happening to you. It's
Right.
something that you do.
You have control over it.
I don't know where. I'm not going to subscribe to anything to get that fucking shit. Although it sounds
Whatever.
interesting.
LGBTQ.
Okay, it says these kids authors are telling the stories of trans youth. Book bans won't stop them. Oh, let's see. Bodies Are Cool by, I guess we should share the screen here so they can
All
see
the
these.
book covers are exactly the same. They have little black girls on them.
Do they? Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Wow, good eye. I don't really notice color that much. Bodies Are Cool by Tyler Feeder. You know what a feeder is? It's a woman or somebody who gets off on these big fat women sitting in front of the refrigerator and just like eating cake and shit.
Stuffing it down.
Just
their
like a
mouth.
whole cake.
Ding dongs.
And there's a T.O.'s Tutu. That's another one. That's a boy, T.O.
Oh,
I guess.
okay.
I mean, it must be, right?
Yeah.
Because this is not being stopped by and My
It's trans.
Rainbow by Trinity and Deshauna Neal, a lesbo couple.
Apparently, that's the only way to get kids' book published now is to make it about trans stuff.
Is that a fact? Why, do you know somebody who wrote a kid's book?
I can't confirm or deny anything.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought maybe you were trying to talk about it.
No, I do know somebody, but I can't bring it up.
It was just 2 weeks ago, that Deshauna Neal found out that My Rainbow, a book she wrote with their daughter. Oh, she calls herself their. It gets confusing. I don't know.
Oh, boy.
But why would it be she and their?
The pronouns is...
She wrote with their daughter, Trinity, and published in 2020, was being targeted for a ban. They always use words like targeted.
Yeah.
And when it's the other way around, they say called out. Calling out something.
Calling it out, yeah.
I'm calling it out. But then this is targeted. Targeted for a ban. The book tells the story of designing and creating the perfect rainbow wig for a young Trinity.
Boring.
John 3:16. Remember that guy?
Yeah.
With the rainbow wig? Yeah. Who transitioned when she was 4. What? Rainbow wig for a young Trinity who transitioned when she was 4?
How?
Yeah, that shouldn't be read by anyone.
That child should be taken away. In a proper society, that child would have been taken away from its parents. But we don't live in a proper society.
Yeah.
We live in clown world.
So Trinity's a real person who transitioned when she was 4. I mean, it's her daughter, Trinity.
Yeah. Probably going to
She wrote with their daughter, Trinity. Wow.
Puberty blockers, the whole nine. Going to torture this poor kid.
It was one of 850 bucks that Texas lawmaker Matt Krause targeted in October 2021, unbeknownst to Neal until recently. Ooh, Texas lawmaker Matt Krause, bad guy.
Boo.
Unbeknownst.
You know who else banned books? Nazis. But they were communist books, so it was kind of okay.
Thanks for saying that nice and loud. This 850 bucks. They don't want to ban them from being fucking made, I don't think.
Right. Yeah.
We don't want them in schools.
Precisely.
So calling it a ban, I mean, in schools? Is it school libraries? Okay. So you put your kid's book on the market where it sells, right?
On Amazon.
I don't think that they're trying to ban it. I doubt that they are. Now they say Matt Krause targeted it, so that's twice they've used the word target. They've used it in both paragraphs so far. Bans on books about race and LGBTQ plus identities are common. Last year, it says bans on these books are common.
Like,
really? About race?
Books
about race.
You're not allowed to have it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to imply.
Right. That they are banned. This can't be read.
Right.
I don't think obviously that's not the case. No. Last year's stories about Black American history and diversity were among the most. But is that what they're about, though? What's the perspective on it? They make it? Oh, it's just like they don't like Black American history. They don't like diversity.
They're just racists.
But, what's the viewpoint? It's so dishonest. I hate and I love to be enraged by shitty, dishonest, disingenuous, leaving shit out.
Right.
Coverage of
using
things.
the word targeted.
Yeah, okay. So it says last year's stories about Black American history and diversity were among the most banned or protested books in schools and libraries, according to the American Library Association. By the way, the ALA are child pornographers, basically.
Yeah, at this point. Yeah.
They are, and they have been for many years. They are extremely fucking liberal to a fault when it comes to shit like this. Like, they wouldn't make their computers block things like child porn or something like that. They wouldn't take the porn out. It was like they were like, homeless people have this right to access. The ALA is bad news, man. They are straight up bad.
Demonic groomers.
And in demonic rumors?
Groomers.
Oh, groomers. Rumors of groomers are certainly all over the place. And in 2020, 8 of the 10 most challenged books covered the LGBTQ plus community.
I wonder why, because you're all fucking crazy.
Look, I mean, if somebody wants to have a book like, hey, I'm normal, you're not, but I accept you, fine. I'm not going to punch you.
Right.
I'm not going to use my fists to attack you. I'm going to try to get along with you. Maybe my heterosexuality will rub off on you, and you'll end up going to heaven someday. That's what you're supposed to do, minister to people, or, at least
tolerate.
That would be a fine perspective.
We were supposed to tolerate. What happened to tolerance? We were just supposed to tolerate.
Now they don't tolerate you.
No. Now it's not
they reversed
open arm exception of it.
They want a full embrace, of their of every peccadillo and choice. Yeah, I should have said choice and peccadillo. That would have sounded smarter. As Republican lawmakers continue to push forward with efforts to curb the rights of queer and trans youth and limit discussion in schools, authors who've written about gender expansive and trans identities say that type of storytelling is crucial. The books that I write are crucial.
They need it or they'll die, even though child suicide is still going up.
Authors
have no effect.
Authors who've written about gender expansive and trans identities say that of course they do. Of course they do.
That's what they're doing.
Books about trans identities need space in the classroom, said Cheryl Green, the Welcoming Schools Director for the Human Rights Campaign.
Oh, the
wow.
Human Rights Campaign. That's
anybody with the title over 6 words that's a problem. Trans and non-binary kids and LGBTQ plus families exist. Not that much. Not really. There's some.
0.011.
You know how many? You know the percentage of kids who identify now as LGBTQ plus.
What is it now?
Among the generation that comes after the millennials, whatever that is.
Zoomers.
The Zoomers.
Mm-hmm.
20-point-something%.
It's impossible. That's impossible.
And that's twice what it was for even the millennials, who I thought were the gayest generation.
Apparently not.
For Gen X, it was like 3-point-something or 4, and it just goes down. So I'm proud to be old at this point. My generation's not so queer. The millennials, they weren't even gay. They're just faggy.
Yeah. I'm borderline millennial.
Sorry.
Gen X. Yeah. 81.
81. You need to just go ahead and... is it really? Is it what is it, after 80?
I think it's after 80.
It moves. Because millennials keep growing like the boomers did. The boomers have this huge expanse of years. So it's ridiculous. They want all the years. And Gen X didn't start until after, as Nixon was coming to an end, kind of. You know what I mean? You could say 65. I've heard that said. I think that 70 is when it starts. I believe that right when I was born, that's when Gen X, and you got about fucking, maybe, I'm going to say 6-7 years at the most, because you needed to be around for the 70s to see, things like Schoolhouse Rock.
Yeah.
That's a Gen X identifier.
I remember seeing that on Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah. Well, then, you can almost be in the club.
Almost. By that
Schoolhouse Rock and other shit like that. People started going hey, black people, don't hate them because they're black. In fact, ignore that they're black. Just don't see color. That's what they told us.
Yeah.
Don't judge people based on their color, at least. You could see it. Because they started saying, well, if you don't see it, don't pretend you don't see it. This is all out in the open. Don't deny it. They start going, wait, you sound kind of racist. Listen to the way you talk about black people. I've been ignoring it. You said not to. You said to acknowledge it. I asked you about your food. What the fuck? Yeah, that's not your. Okay. That's when they started taking the superior attitude.
Mm-hmm.
It's no. I'm sorry. My brother told me about a time when he asked somebody what the fuck they were, and it was just people just acted like he shat in the punch bowl.
Dropped the nuclear bomb.
I mean, what are you exactly? Where are you from? What's your background? What's your ethnic, whatever? And there was...
What's wrong with that question?
I'd like to know. I mean, it seems like we have to work so hard at finding ways to address people's ethnicity in a sensitive way, right? So don't I need to know what it is?
Yeah. You need to know what you're ignoring.
So do I have to find a way to ask it that's more, I don't know, polite? So when you grew up, did you eat more enchiladas or more curry? or something. I don't know. Plantons or... Let me ask you this. Were there cars in the country where you're from made after the year 1959? Teachers and educators are tasked with ensuring that all families and students are valued and feel like they belong, Green said. That's something that books can do. But the teachers are tasked with it, so why should books do that? A rainbow wig for Trinity. Deshaun Neal remembers staying up late into the night making a wig. A wig for young Trinity. Okay. Oh, my goodness, a wig.
You know what my 3-year-old needs? A wig.
This is her son, by the way.
Yeah.
Her 3-year-old son needs a rainbow wig.
Of course. That's what he wanted.
Oh, I stayed up late into the night smoking weed with my fucking lesbo cunt lover.
He didn't want Spider-Man Lego. He wanted a rainbow wig.
I saw him pushing a truck around, and my heart just fell. Trinity's brother helped pick out the colors. Trinity's brother's like, yeah, little shit. They're always trying to beat down the fucking brother. You know, the younger brother, that's what the oldest one does, is try to turn the other one gay. But it was up to Neil, it says, who had never made a wig to put it all together. Never made a wig. Oh, it's called My Rainbow. Look, that's a shitty rainbow wig right there.
Boo.
What is this? Flowers and leaves and shit?
I think I see a star.
What the fuck is that? I've never made a rainbow wig. Neil tells NPR that Trinity felt her gender expression wasn't valid because her hair was too short. Her. But Trinity, who was autistic and...
Oh, wow, the labels these people put on their own kids.
Hated the feeling of hair on the back of her head.
This has to be...
hated the feel of hair on the back of her head. Hated it.
Was it Munchausen by proxy?
Yep.
This is what all these parents are suffering
Instead
from.
of them being sick, it's like they're turning them super liberal.
Yeah, turning them, chopping their dicks off.
Yeah, that's it. There's nothing wrong with them. I better chop his dick off. Yeah. Hated the feeling of hair on the back of her head. You should really have to say his.
Yeah.
So long. This is a son. Don't get me all caught up in this bullshit. It transitioned when it was 4. It's a boy. He did.
Yeah.
And did they cut his dick off at that age? They cut his dick off. Did they cut their son's dick off? I doubt it.
No, but they're probably seeing a doctor or a therapist to prepare them for the transition.
God, I hope so. I hope they didn't just fucking find some,
some out-of-work moil.
Yeah. Oi, yes, I'll take it. Yeah. This doesn't make you Jewish. Hated the feeling of hair. I said Neil also didn't want to give Trinity straight hair because she is black. Yeah, I wonder if that's real or, just I say I'm black. It was, I guess, judging, I'm just looking at the cartoons. It was like, how do I make these all come together? Neil remembers asking, because every part of her, every intersection of her, she's an intersectional within an intersectional.
Oh, wow.
And I teach all my kids this. Every part of us is why we are a masterpiece, including your dick.
Yeah, you need to keep that, kid.
And balls. Right?
You're going to want that one day.
Neil says she still has the picture of a young Trinity who is now 18. Oh, my God. Smiling and putting on the wig for the first time.
So she conditioned this kid.
To be a weirdo.
Yeah.
Many remembered Trinity as the girl with the rainbow hair. But the young author doesn't let the attention get to her head. No. She's only 18. Neil said of her daughter that she doesn't let it go to her head. Now, when the activist duo is tagged in something, Trinity, she's excited, but then she goes back to playing Roblox. My kids play this game. They love it. The fuck is Roblox?
It's some really popular.
It sounds like Roadblocks,
game.
but it's Roblox.
Yeah, Roblox.
It's Ebonics.
Roblox.
They're teaching you how to speak black.
There's a Roblox ahead.
Oh, shit, Roblox. You got to break through the Roblox, dude. Meanwhile, Trinity's younger sister, Hyperion, God help us all.
That name.
Has shared the book with her classmates. Nothing's cooler than saying, yeah, my big sister is an author with a dick. That'd be even more interesting. My big sister has a dick. Neil said of Hyperion. Wait a second. Nothing's cooler than saying, yeah, my big sister's an author. Neil said of Hyperion. Don't mind me. My big sister met Obama.
So this is
Wait, I'm having a hard time understanding this. Okay. Nothing's cooler than... So it's quoting Hyperion, I think.
Yes.
But it says... Yeah, but then it says Neil Sen of Hyperion. Yeah, my big sister is an author. Trinity's younger sister is Hyperion. Nothing's cooler than saying, yeah, my big sister is an author. Neil said of Hyperion. Don't mind me. Okay, whatever. Who
so
gives
the
a
sister
shit?
met Obama, and Obama made her gay. Him.
Well, well, he approved, for sure. They were like, we're meeting the president. We need a little faggot kid.
Remember when he was against gay marriage? I remember that. I'm old enough.
Marriage between a man and a woman?
Yeah.
And according to my beliefs, gets the black vote, and he's like, you know what? Fuck all that.
Boys can be girls, girls can be boys.
Nothing matters, and what if it did?
I run Netflix now.
It's true, though, right? He said that strictly because it polled black people, and they're just like, we're not into that shit. What? Mm-hmm. Gay marriage is a man or woman. Man or woman is not, you don't fuck with marriage that way. And and he's like, well, okay. I'll lie to you then if you prefer. I've since modified my opinion. You know, just like Hillary did. I've never changed my opinion on it. And it's like, it's fucking done nothing but evolved. Marriage between a man and a woman. And then finally she's like, I proudly support gay and lesbian. I think that's where she lost all fucking, like, you know, softness in her voice. Because she never has been appealing per se, but she could, like, you know, sound like a reasonable person. No, she just, you know what I mean?
What are you doing? And by the Lord.
It's just awful now, right?
She's terrible.
Her raising her voice is terrible.
You think she's going to run 2024?
I don't know, man. And nothing would surprise me, but it would surprise me at the same time. You know what I mean? I just don't know anything about it. What makes sense? I wouldn't be surprised if we stopped doing elections.
Yeah, Democrats are kings forever.
Yeah, why not? You know, they could just go, well, we figured out that, like, since you guys are hate and you're the problem, we need to just stop letting you guys be involved. Why are we letting you guys be involved? We are who we are. Fuck you.
We got to stop the voting until we figure out what's going on with all these white nationalists.
Stop the voting until we figure out what's... Yep. That sounds very familiar somehow. When Ellie was growing up, their mom, Vanessa Ford, recalls a lack of books that captured her own child's experience, and many of the book characters didn't look like. I hate that whole look-like thing.
See it to be it, right?
Wow, finally a vice president that looks like me. Really? How many vice presidents can you name? 9-year-old?
Yeah.
You know? Fuck off. God, it's annoying. It looks like me.
There's no black people in pictures of NASA scientists, so I guess black people can't be scientists.
Oh, no. What are you talking about? Black women sent us to the moon.
Of course. Hidden Figures.
Those cleaning ladies came in, I guess. Is that the story?
I think so. I didn't see the
Cleaning
movie.
ladies from space, and they came in, and they're like, no, now, your figures are wrong here, boy. I got to learn you about ciphering.
You should be using an abacus.
For Ellie, I Am Jazz by Jazz Jennings was a formative work. The story follows the author's own experience as a trans child. But as Ellie mentioned, Jazz was not brown like me. Doesn't look like me.
Oh, no.
It has to be me.
Has to be me.
I
Everything's
can't
about
relate
me.
Ooh, I can't relate to any character. It's not me exactly.
Pride, and more pride.
Wow. What if they're brown but a different shade of brown? I mean, aren't we just talking about shades of skin?
Yes. Well, they're not as brown as me, so I guess I can't be that.
She's as brown as me, but her hair is straight, and mine's curly and like kinky. You know what I mean?
Can't relate to it.
That shit is like fucking Brillo pad, and this motherfucker, no, with the straight hair. Doesn't look like me. As little Ellie mentioned. Well, Ford and her husband, who God knows what that is, her husband, you know what I mean? Let's hope it's human.
Yeah.
Set out to find books that represented Ellie, who was biracial. They set out to find books. They ended up having to write their own, I bet.
Oh, no.
They ended up having to write their own. When the duo started writing Calvin in 2018, which follows a young trans boy's coming out story, Ford said they couldn't find any books with transgender characters of color. Isn't that odd that there's just no children's books about transgender children of color?
Because there shouldn't be.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be books about trans children, period.
There shouldn't be books about trans people, period. There were no trans people before all this shit started.
How many trans people did you know in high school?
None.
Me too.
I knew none.
Me too.
The school filled with them. I just didn't know them. They wouldn't talk to me.
They didn't like you.
I know. I've never seen one. No, there was a couple of fucking real tough girls.
Right, yeah. They played on the basketball team.
Yeah, and they fucking whatever, they're fine. And a couple of faggoty dudes, too. Okay. You're still a dude and a girl.
Yeah.
We're not going to start this shit. They set out to find books. Like I said. It follows a young trans boy's coming out story. Okay, so over the years, the selection has expanded with the addition of books like My Rainbow and Kyle Lukoff's When Aiden Became a Brother. When Aiden became a brother.
That's not a really
This is
good
Calvin,
picture.
the little biracial faggot.
Well, if a 10-year-old drew that, then good for that 10-year-old. But if an adult drew that, they're not good at art.
Oh, I think that's fine for a kid's book. That's about the quality you expect. Yeah, you don't think that's good? I mean, it's fine. Who gives a shit?
I'm the supreme judge of children's books.
I'd say you are. I mean, it's an ugly-looking kid. Look at those
Very.
ears. The eyes are way too fucking far apart, like an alien.
Jerry Jones.
It's got a fucking overbite, like a rabbit. Dimples.
Look at the ears.
The nose is definitely how you can tell. Biracial for sure, along with the hair. Because it's a black nose. I'm sorry, it's normally identified with black features. In Calvin, the Fords tell the story of a young trans boy loosely based on the experiences of their own child, Ellie. In the book, Calvin tells his parents that he is a boy in his heart, in his brain. There's really not very many girls transitioning to boys, I don't think.
Yeah, it seems to be going one way 90% of the time.
Mostly a bunch of dudes, yeah, little boys who are easy to confuse because their mommies, they want their love and approval and acceptance, and they seem to be saying, this is what you should do. You know what I mean?
Sure. They want, and usually daddy isn't around.
My sister tried to get me a doll, tried to get me like, oh, he would like a doll. Let him play with dolls and shit. And I'm just like, do I get a gift? What? Sweet. What are you talking about?
Get a toy.
I don't want a fucking doll. I mean, just like the fact that anybody's giving you anything for no reason. They're talking about me. You know what I mean?
Wow. This is great.
And just like that.
I'm loved.
My sister was like 16 years older than me, And so, yeah, you don't get a lot of attention from that person necessarily. I mean, she probably changed my shitty diapers and stuff like that at times.
Right.
I got a lot of stories I could tell you. It says, we love you if you were a girl, boy, neither, or both. What?
Wait, what? What?
Girl, boy, neither, or both. We love you whoever you are. I mean, really, you can have a dick, not have a dick. Fucking blow everybody. Take it in the ass. No rough stuff.
No rough stuff.
So,
it's interesting how gender reassignment surgery only reassigns you to one of two genders, but there's supposed to be all these thousands of genders.
Yeah. Reassign me to
demi-unicorn.
Yeah, exactly.
Sexual.
Yeah, reassign me to some kind of like a fucking D&D character or some shit. Make me a hot dog.
I want to be Legolas from The Hobbit.
Legolas? I want to be Legolas. After coming out, Calvin is met with nothing but support and acceptance, because that's the way it goes. His friend calls him by his name, and in one scene, his grandparents give him a haircut. Nobody bullies Calvin, and no one questions his identity, Ford says. It sends a message that trans kids can thrive and be happy and wonderful in their environments when those around them support and affirm who they are. Yeah. Just keep co-signing their bullshit.
Yeah. Keep going along with the delusion.
Because that's really what it comes down to with trans stuff. I always feel like I'm in an improv class. Yes, and. I am a girl. Yeah. And you're pretty. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's really is like an improv class that they've made out of the world. It sends a message, like I said, including Calvin in classrooms, was important for Ford, who was a teacher in D.C. public school.
Of course.
15 years. Yeah. Wow. You've got to be someone with a lot of common sense to be a public school teacher in D.C. She said they've done virtual school and library visits all over the country, from Oregon to Pennsylvania and Texas.
Oh.
Virtual things. They've done virtual and library visits.
So we can't escape it.
You virtually visited another state?
Wow, you sat in front of your computer.
Wow, that's
Whoa.
cool. We want this being utilized in classrooms as a mirror to kids who need to see themselves and a window for other kids who need to understand what it means to be gender diverse or transgender. I've had it with this part of the show.
It's just demonic nonsense.
It's just awful. Just awful. 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 But that world news that we heard, that NPR fucking news was horrible, wasn't it? Let's see. Why hasn't my daughter? This is under the goats and soda section.
Oh, goats and soda, of course.
What the fuck is that? I'm clicking goats and
Goats
soda
and
to
soda.
see where that goes. Goats and soda: stories of life in a changing world.
Okay.
Oh wow, that's just
This
just
is
so-
real.
It's
People
so
donate
tricky.
to it.
It's so tricky, isn't it? Goats and soda. You're like, what? See if this cuts
2
right.
years into this pandemic, the majority of Americans have had COVID, at least once, including myself. Yet some people have continued to avoid getting infected even after being exposed. Scientists are beginning to understand why. And here to explain is NPR's Michaeline Duclev. Hi, Michaeline.
Hi, Elsa.
Okay, so we have all heard this story. A family gets really sick
is
with
how we
COVID,
sound.
but there's like one person in the family who doesn't even test positive for the virus, right? Like that's what you're talking about. They refuse to get it. Not like some asymptomatic person.
Right. Asymptomatic people still test positive, but there are people who've been exposed and never test positive. The virus isn't detectable in them. My young daughter actually seems to be one of these people. She's been exposed like 4 times, you know, and we're talking like heavy exposures, and she's never gotten infected. And I've been wondering why. Like, what is she
What a
doing?
shitty parent.
Right, and you're going to tell me that she's not just getting lucky, right? Like there's something actually happening in her body that is protecting her.
Yeah, so what scientists are starting to realize is that the immune system has a way in some people to clear out an infection in the earliest stages. So quickly, in fact, the virus never reaches detectable levels. So although they are briefly infected, they never test positive.
What's going on here?
So children don't need
Yeah,
the
well,
vaccine.
it looks like the body has a few tricks to stop infections, like kind of in their tracks. And the first one is super cool. It comes from a study published in the
Who the fuck talks like this?
well,
It's
let
like
me tell
stop
you.
it like in their tracks.
I was at
in tracks.
Starbucks and
Sit back up.
it's
Journal
super cool.
Nature, and in it, researchers essentially find that for some people, your exposure to other coronaviruses other than SARS-CoV-2 can actually help you fight a SARS-CoV-2 infection quickly.
Wow, so these are like coronaviruses that cause the common cold?
Like semi-immunity?
Yeah. Or
Exactly. There are 4 of them.
Like semi-immunity, right? Like you have it and you've had some other coronavirus that helps you
Right.
get over it real quick, but you still got it.
technically.
So what is the point of this? Why are they telling us this? There's a point. There's got to be a
Right,
reason.
there's
There's
a
always a
reason.
reason. This is not health information. This is political information.
Well, this is under goats and soda, so
It's good, yeah, it's in the goats. So obviously, these are stories that affect today's life, the life today, whatever. What does it mean? A kid gets it, but they get over it real quick, or anybody gets it and they get over it real quick. It doesn't mean that they haven't had it. They haven't test positive. They don't test positive for it, but you still have. I guess so. You can test negative and still have
still
it.
have it. Yeah.
You could still be carrying it. That must be what it's about.
So kids need masks regardless.
Something like that. You know what I mean?
Possibly.
Basically infect everyone. And I was talking to Breanne Barker about this. She's an immunologist at Drew University in New Jersey. She says they're not dangerous viruses, and in certain people, their immune system thinks these viruses look like SARS-CoV-2.
You might imagine that if you've had one of those
Why are they talking to us like this? I guess it's for kids. This must be kids for kids that
has to
goats and
be.
soda because they're like, it looks like SARS-CoV-2 to some of them.
Unless they
One
really
of those-
think this is how they should talk to us.
Like they think it's really cute.
Yeah.
old coronaviruses more recently,
I mean,
your
like-
immune response
To infection quickly.
Wow, so these are like coronaviruses that cause the common cold?
Right, exactly. There are 4 of them that basically infect everyone. And I was talking to Breanne Barker about this. She's an immunologist at Drew University in New Jersey. She says they're not dangerous viruses, and in certain people, their immune system thinks these viruses look like SARS-CoV-2.
You might imagine that if you've had one of those common cold coronaviruses more recently, your immune response might be at a higher level when SARS-CoV-2 is encountered.
Specifically, she says your body generates immune cells to clear up these colds, and some of those cells stick around in your blood for a while. And there's evidence now that in about 10% of people, these immune cells may prepare the body to fight SARS-CoV-2. In certain people, their immune system thinks these viruses look like SARS-CoV-2.
So, hey, wait a second. I can't get COVID-2. I've already had COVID-2.
Yeah.
It's my body.
You're good to go.
Yeah. Get out of here.
You could go to the Met now.
That's what my body's saying.
You might imagine that if you've had one
around in your blood for a while, and there's evidence now that in about 10% of people, these immune cells may prepare the body to fight SARS-CoV-2.
Dang, I wish I were one of those people. That's pretty cool. Okay, so you said that there's like a few tricks. What else is there?
Yeah, so this mechanism is super important. Inside our respiratory tracts, there's this early warning system for viruses, mini viruses. It's called RIG-I. And when it sees a new virus, it sets off this massive cascade of events, which kills the infected cell and protects others from getting infected. For a lot of people, that's not enough, and the virus overwhelms the system. But what scientists are realizing is that some people have very sensitive and powerful RIG-I systems. Donna Farber is an...
Okay, enough of this shit.
It's
very fucking weird. My daughter's been exposed to it, but yet, well, there's a reason they're saying it. I guarantee you, there is some reason that they're saying it. Here's something about the vaccine. Oh yeah, it's saying you have to be vaccinated. By the way, this is some generic ass art here saying this. Oh no. A Nobel Prize winning journalist attacked in Russia. Oh shit! Dmitry Muratov attacked.
Not Dmitry Muratov.
Look how red he is. He likes the Rangers.
Let's go Rangers.
Oh my God! He pretends to like hockey. He was shot with a paintball gun.
Look at him. Look how sad he looks. He's like,
I mean, what the fuck happened to him? What is he? He's a Nobel Prize winning Russian journalist. Shit! Attacked while on board a train heading from Moscow to Samara. Muratov, the editor-in-chief of the Russian newspaper Novaya Gazeta. We all know that one. An independent media outlet critical of the nation's government. You wouldn't expect a guy that's critical of the government to be attacked.
No.
An unidentified man shouted at Muratov and threw red paint at him. Attacked. So it is red paint. This is not burns. There's nothing wrong with him. This is just what his arm looks like normally with his fucking liver spots.
Gross.
Oh, my God. Fuck this guy.
Yeah, this
Fuck
guy's
him.
a dick.
They threw red paint at him, according to... now, the journalist said the attacker allegedly shouted, Muratov, here's one for our boys. Likely in reference to the Russian military. They poured oil paint with acetone in the compartment. My eyes are burning terribly. I mean, I did not win a Nobel Prize in journalism to deal with this type of shit.
I don't want paint thrown at me. I just want to be critical of the Russian government.
And, of course, they say blood red paint. Pictures of the aftermath show blood red paint.
Ooh.
Covering his body and clothes, as well as the train compartment and his belongings. Oh, shit. Ah, man. You fucked up all my shit.
My iPhone.
Look at this, man. Look at this shit. I can't stay in here. Kirill Martynov, editor of whatever the fuck, tweeted that he received medical attention, but his eyesight may be affected by the paint.
Oh, no.
Look at him. He looks fine to me.
Yeah.
He's all right.
Take a selfie.
He's thinking, oh, look at me. I'm hurt. The damage has been done already. Oh, God. The paper was forced to stop publication after, this is a big deal. It says last year he won the Nobel Prize for his work with Novaya Gazeta, which he co-founded in 91. So he won the Nobel Prize before this war was happening.
Oh, wow.
He's an OG, I guess. Right? Yeah. The newspaper became an advocate for democracy and freedom of expression in Russia. But 6 of the newspaper's journalists have been killed over the years. Well, that's not good. Because of their work holding the Russian government and its military to account. I bet you a couple of them died in some fucking regular ass shit.
Yeah, I would say half is true.
Some are old age, maybe. And then, the government will kill a couple of people here and there if they're real dickheads.
I mean, we imprison people for wandering around a park. So what the fuck?
I'm not nearly enough. Not nearly enough anymore. No. In fact, I think that's pretty. I mean, we could talk about Eric Adams' big ideas.
Oh, okay.
About what he wants to do with the homeless. But at the start of the Russia-Ukraine war, the paper was forced to stop publication. This is the Russia-Ukraine war. Is that what it's going to be called? I guess it's those are the two countries. So yeah, it makes sense. It's not going to be WW something.
Yeah, 2.5. 2.5.
2.5, sort of, kind of. Like, we want it to sound like a big war, with fighting pilots and the fucking heroes, the Ghost of Kiev, and Charcoal. Did you hear about Charcoal?
Yeah.
The sniper?
Yeah.
Give me a fucking break. They're like, nobody knows where she's at or if she has anything to do with this.
Can't find her for comment.
What? Just ridiculous.
A woman sniper running around Ukraine.
Charcoal. I think they were trying to make her look black. I don't think she was black, but they were trying to make her look in the charcoal. Some of the paper's journalists fled Russia, and they founded Novaya. Okay, who gives a shit? All right. So that's that story. How about one more?
Let's do it.
Politics. We'll try
boy.
politics. That was national, by the way. That's a national news story. Oh, yes, Ketanji Brown Jackson. No element of her name doesn't sound black. They voted 53-47, and you can name which ones voted for her.
The Republicans that voted for her were Romney, Collins, and Murkowski.
Yep.
Like always.
And Manchin is a Democrat who often votes with Republicans. I guess he was I guess he was part of this unanimous.
With them.
He's like, whatever. I mean, what am I supposed to do? It's not gonna make any fucking difference.
This is going through regardless.
I admire the people who stick to the fucking sanctity of their because it would have been 50-50 and then Kamala Harris would come in and break the tie.
Yeah.
I'm glad that they're depriving her of the satisfaction of doing that.
Mike Pence had to do it, right?
I don't know. Maybe. Probably. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember anything before Biden was. I mean, it's like,
you're just in this hellscape.
It is a
trying
hellscape.
To survive.
It's the worst. I mean, like, it was unthinkable to me. Unthinkable that Trump could lose. Unthinkable. And it remains, obviously. But the election was stolen. That's a fact. I don't care. They're trying to ramp up all this fucking COVID drama again. Anthony Fauci is they're trying to ramp up all this COVID drama so they can have mail-in voting, I guess, by the fucking by the fall.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because they're scared shitless, and they should be. Nobody likes them. They have to cheat on every election now.
Yeah, in order to win. Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, they don't have the support, and what they're doing sucks. So they lose support all the time.
Yeah,
I love what Texas Governor Abbott's doing. I don't care if he's crippled. He's good. He's good people as far as I'm concerned.
Sure.
He's trying to he says, we're going to bust all these fucking people. When you drop this, 42, Law 42, Title 42, whatever the fuck it is, that just says, hey, people can come here and be here. They're not turned away because of COVID or anything like that. Because it was a COVID-era thing. They had to wait someplace else, right, before they could come in and be refugees or whatever the fuck.
I think so, yeah.
Whatever it is, it's going to allow a bunch more people to come. Terrible idea. And it's going to be, it's just going to be a fucking ridiculous wave. I hate this open border shit. Texas building a wall, a state wall.
Yeah.
Which should have been done forever ago. Where are all the strong Texas politicians doing that? Well, there's fuckers like Beto O'Rourke. Beto.
Yeah, Beto.
What a fucking fruit.
I think
a wall does not keep people out. It does not. We are safer and better when we don't have borders.
He's always like rushing to end the sentence.
Yeah, and adding on all this extra shit that's, finding different ways to say stuff. I hate that fucking guy. I hate that mentality. I hate that whole party. I hate everybody who's coming across the border illegal, every drug dealer, every child trafficker, every piece of shit who fucking drags their ass across the fucking border, rides across in a truck. And so Abbott says, hey, these illegal-looking trucks, we're pulling them all over, and you guys are all fucked. They have something called bailouts, If you're driving a truck like that, you just jump out. If the cops get there, jump out, bail out, let the truck roll on. What are they going to do with those fucking people anyway? Hey, have a nice day. Can any of you drive?
Can you get in the driver's seat?
Yeah.
Juan,
come on. Yeah, so
wheel
like this? Okay, just go forward. It's fine.
You're really good at drunk driving, so come on.
Yeah,
They're terrible at it.
He wants a drink. Okay. and they're going to bus them to fucking D.C. They're going to take all these fuckers and
Good.
bus them to D.C., and the way he put it was rather good, so that they can more easily, receive the attention and care that they need from the federal government. One of the great moments of American history, according to Chuck Schumer, before the vote. Today, we are taking a giant, bold, and important step on the well-trodden path to fulfilling our country's founding promise. This is a great moment for Judge Jackson, an even greater moment for America as we rise to a more perfect union. That's right. We got to be taking it easy on these fucking pedos. And,
yeah.
It says, a good point that I saw, because it's like, the first black woman, what is CNN, a biologist now? Right?
I don't know.
We can now, but now all of a sudden you can say what a woman is?
It's a woman when they want it to be. It's not a woman when,
yeah.
It's only when it's their needs and agenda.
You would think they would avoid that word, you know what I mean? Just this once. Since it was such a dumb thing she said. She can't define a woman. Can't.
Nope. Impossible.
She's not a biologist.
Only biologists can define what a woman is.
And it's not all biology. That's the thing. Biology doesn't help either. Biology doesn't help. Because it can help, but it's not the decisive thing.
Right.
Even a biologist. Because really, biologically, if you can see a dick or a pussy, right? Mm-hmm. If you have vision, or even if you have a hand that you could feel it, you can be blind. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Biologically speaking, yeah. You go, let's see, there's a broad-shouldered individual. There's a wide-hipped individual. There's a person with a low voice. There's a person with a higher voice. Sure. That one has tits. This one doesn't. Or smaller ones. This one swims faster than all these other ones. Right. Biologically, it's not that hard to determine. Biologically,
really
it is self-fucking evident. I can tell men from women pretty good.
Same.
Without any sort of... And you know what? I fucked up my leaf collection in biology. That's how much I suck.
Wow.
I couldn't even do that right.
Did you do you couldn't get the leaves on the poster board all in nice, neat order?
I had them on. We were supposed to put them under plastic in like a fucking photograph book.
Okay.
And, say what they are and shit.
Gotcha.
I guess I did manage, but I didn't want to.
You weren't a biologist.
That's what I said. I don't intend to be a biologist. I can't tell a lady tree from a man tree. What am I? Puberty blockers make me want to puke. The idea of that. Just like, let's just let it stay a little weirdo forever.
Yeah. They're going to ruin so many kids' lives. Child suicide is still on the rise, regardless of all these stupid policies and books and whatever initiatives. And these kids are just going to keep offing themselves. They're going to be like, oh, I'm a boy, and I decided to be. My mom said I should become a woman, so I did. Now I'm 20. I'm just a gay guy, but guess what? It's gone.
Yeah. Now I can't even get blown. I can't get butt fucked properly with a reach around or whatever. It's just like
just a wound.
There's just nothing. There's nothing.
Angry
There's nothing
inch.
for me. I think the whole fucking thing is disgusting. And you know what? We probably better start thinking about posting on Rumble.
Yeah.
Well, we have a bunch of YouTube subscribers, right? If you're on YouTube, you need to come over and subscribe on Rumble because, fuck it, this is not going to stay up on YouTube.
Yeah, we're probably going to get taken down soon.
I mean, it's, maybe a certain number of people have to see it. A lot of the shit we say is perfectly non-controversial, and I don't think that we're saying anything wrong, but you don't have to. We know that. And I guess Elon Musk has not bought a share of fucking YouTube yet, that gives him decisive, but that's nothing's going to happen with that. And where's Trump's social media thing?
Yeah, Truth, social media.
Thought it was supposed to happen. I don't get it. I tried to click on something that it sent me, and I've already gotten my name, reserved it, whatever.
Okay.
However, I clicked on something that said, like, hey, you need to think, and it's like, give money to the fucking Republican Party.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
$45 for the 45th president.
Look, I love Trump, but fuck him as far as money goes. You know what I mean?
He has enough.
He's fine.
Yeah.
And he knows that. Like, I would give if a small donation would, oh man, to get him back, if we could turn back time, we should get off here.
Okay.
Thanks for watching. And later, and all this shit, fuck all of this fucking bullshit. You know what I'm talking about.